It's Team Robbie versus Team X.
You'll go head-to-head in 3 football-related challenges right here on DR Sports.
And whoever comes out on top, you're getting flown to Turkey with one of us
We've teamed up with Aunt Lara Dental Clinic
to get your teeth done.
out in Antalya, Turkey.
I'm talking flight, the hotel, the full procedure.
The competition is open to UK residents only.
And Lara is throwing in a 10% discount for everyone who applies.
Do not want to miss this.
Let the duels begin.
Hi, and welcome along to the weekend preview. We are back here. Of course, we are going to be previewing the big one for the season. Of course, it is the Champions League final between PSG and Inter Milan happening on Saturday. Also going to be discussing the little cup that was on last night. No, I shouldn't disrespect that. Chelsea winning the Conference League. And, of course, let's talk about, during the show, Man United, you know what I mean? And their pre-season. Is it
post-season, mate?
Pre-season?
No, it's just post-season.
Right? And your parade.
No parades.
And listen, we want you as much as possible to get involved with the show. But listen, let's introduce our panel today. We've got Flex here. No Matisse, of course, he's still celebrating. He was actually at the game last night.
He's there.
Right, so he hasn't been able to make it back. Remember when I couldn't make it back for certain?
but
he hasn't. I know, and he still ain't made it back. So that just goes to show.
So you know he's not dodging.
Right? But, Matisse, congratulations to him. He's celebrating. And we've got another person who's been celebrating all week. AGT in the place. Before we speak about the celebrations, of course, we have to unfortunately start with the incident that happened, at the parade. Like, multiple people injured. Somebody driving through the crowd. I still can't believe it. I'm sure we all seen the videos that circulated online and that. I don't know if you've known anyone who was affected by it. It was absolutely horrendous, AGT. Like, to see that in a day of pure joy for Liverpool fans, right? And boy, did they turn out, especially when you consider how it was raining up there. For somebody to do that, it's just marred the day, hasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 1.5 million people in the city for the parade, and yeah, like you said, it was joy. It was raining, but that didn't rain on the parade. Metaphorically, it was for many of us, it was the best day of our lives. You know, the content that we captured, incredible. The scenes were just amazing. I was working with Lucas Aid, the DR Cop TV. I was trying to spread myself across everything, and shout out to all the production guys that were standing there in the rain. It was a big job for them. But like you say, yeah, it was marred. It was ruined by, horrendous probably doesn't even cover it. It was sickening. It was inhumane. It was disgusting, especially when we know, that the guy driving was on drugs and he wasn't compos mentis. It's marred it. And I think the latest update is there's still 7 people in hospital. I think there was around about 70 people injured. It's
a miracle that
us guys, we weren't far from it, probably 2 streets away when it happened. Yeah. By the time we got back to kind of my flat to kind of unpack and edit, the news started filtering in when the signal kept coming out, because obviously there's no signal when there's that many people around there. And yeah, listen, we've said it before, we'll say it again, all of our thoughts at DR Sports from the Cop TV and everyone are with those people affected, the families, the friends that. And you know what, Robbie? Obviously, 79, I think people were physically injured, but it's the thousands that saw it and will be mentally traumatized by it. So, listen, justice will get served with the guy who did it. But, I think everyone showed how much of an amazing community spirit there is in Liverpool by straight after people offering for lifts, places to stay.
I heard because a lot of people were stranded, weren't they? Because obviously you have to lock off roads and stuff like that. And then I guess with the police, you don't you don't realize, is it a terrorist attack? Do you kind of go into
so many unanswered questions in the melee of it happening.
As it happened,
it must be. Yeah, I saw that a load of fans got stranded and people were offering them places to stay and stuff like that.
Yeah, as it happened, I think it was 6:50. My 2 cousins Dan and Sarah kind of walking onto Water Street, and as they kind of walked up, the crowds were kind of pushing them back and they said, "What's going on?" And someone said, "Someone's killing people." So, the terror, the fear, all of that stuff, it definitely marred the day. But what I don't want to do, Robbie, is almost forget the amazing day that happened before that.
Yeah.
I think there's a tendency when something like this happens to almost forget everything that came before. And it was an incredible day. We're obviously holding out, putting content out until we know that everyone's out of hospital and safe and sound, recovered. But, you know, before that, it was the best day ever. And in my brain, I'm trying to separate up until that point to after.
Yeah.
And
I think it's even really hard to... One thing that struck me was like, you just, you know, we all follow football and you just think of like the things that the Liverpool fan base have had to endure.
Yeah. And it's the Heysel anniversary today as well.
Do you see what I mean? So, of course, you think back to how difficult it must be for Liverpool contingency to you know, remember Hillsborough. And then you look at the last time, obviously, that they won the league. It was under COVID and many people were losing family members and it wasn't a very nice time. And now this time was supposed to be the time where a lot of Liverpool fans can go and have that time, that moment with all their families from everywhere around the world, to have that as a Liverpool family. And now it's been marred by yet another like tragedy or really big incident. And I felt really sad for, obviously everybody feels sad for what's gone on, but when I just think about the Liverpool fan base of like the trio of things that have occurred, it's not nice. And it's interesting you say like you don't want it to, like say, like mar what's happened before, because it was supposed to be a great day for the whole Liverpool fan base. But it's just, I just think what the Liverpool fan base has been through and people of Liverpool, and it's just, it was
well said though. Well said. I agree.
Yeah, really sad, and like you said, let's hope that justice is served. But I just, you know, it's just shocking, man, that somebody would do something like that. You know what I mean?
Makes no sense.
Look how many people are there. I mean, it just don't. I watched
accountability. How did the car get in there? How's that happened? There's
the
whole
slipstream of the ambulance, so he was
gone behind
you as well. Like, you know,
and then
that
how do you
road
stop
was
that?
closed. How do you stop that?
Very difficult. Very.
We were talking about real human life, children. Like, the word sickening doesn't even cover it. So, like I said, we send our thoughts to everyone affected by it, and as soon as possible, we're on tenterhooks waiting for these 7 people now to get out of hospital and make a full and quick recovery.
It is a miracle that so far, knowing what
I agree.
saw then, you know, I mean, there's survivors. I mean,
It just must have brought up so much for. That's what I mean. I just saw that and think people have family members that have been affected by it, and that just brings all of that trauma back. As a fan base and as a community.
Okay, well, listen, for those 7 that are in hospital and for everybody else affected, you know what I mean, our hearts, thoughts and prayers with them. But it really, really sad. But it was, let's also not take away from it, it was a great moment for that city, for Liverpool fans, celebrating winning the league. And a great moment for Chelsea fans. Last night, winning the Conference League. They came from a goal down to, in the end, win it by 4-1. All right, the expectations was that they were going to win this. You know, they've been able to sort of play their B team all the way through it. My brother, my younger brother was saying to me, guys, this competition is not meant for a team like Chelsea, but they're in it and they've won it. What did you make of it, Flex?
Do you know what? So
they completed the set.
They completed the set, and I had to check myself here, because I'm not going to lie, I was giving it completed the set, man. No one wants to. You think Real Madrid and Liverpool and all these men are like annoyed they ain't got a Conference League. You know what I mean? It's not where the big teams are meant to be. I was like, what are they even doing in there? And I remember they weren't even meant to be in it. It's because Man United won the FA Cup and pushed them down into it. You know? Do you know what I mean?
Thanks to you then, basically.
So I'm there cussing, saying, "Oh, no,
you might
big
have been
team."
better off you being.
Yeah, exactly. and then fast forward, look what's happened at my team, and at least they've won it. And so I had to check myself there. I was trying to be a bit cheeky, and I went, brother, you pushed them in there, you know. You made them go in there. I had a word with myself and held my hands outside. But
I'm not having it. Listen, anyway.
Yeah,
I'm going to pipe up.
What I will say is for the football club, it's not something that they're going to be the most proud of forever, because they can say, you know, they're not meant to be there. And I think the way that they won the game and the way they've stormed the competition proves it. Reece James is a Champions League winner. Cole Palmer's on his way to being world class. Enzo Fernandez has won a World Cup. You know, Moise Caicedo is on his way to being a world class midfielder.
Chalobah Champions League winner.
Do you know what I'm saying? So them players ain't meant to be in that, and it showed when they started to turn it on. And Maresca put the team out that was supposed to start the game. They mashed up them, man, because they ain't meant to be there. But what I won't take away from Chelsea fans, and we shouldn't take it away from them, is forget they spent 1.2 billion and all them thing there. That young crop of players that is the nucleus of what they're trying to build, it's big for them. And actually, you see, like, you know, when you see subs run on the pitch when someone scores and you go, oh, you man have hardly played. That's not the case for this campaign for Chelsea, because, you know, when they're going to all them far places on plastic pitches and cold and kick up, we're laughing at Matisse, the kickoff times at the traffic time in England, you know what I mean, 5 p.m. traffic and that. The youngsters were playing. They got the team to the final. They brought in the big man to make sure they get over the line. So that is all of their trophies, you know. So big up to the young players who have never won anything in their career and they got to experience that and be part of it. But we shouldn't have this like, well done, Chelsea, you won the Conference League. We have to be careful with that. So I think... my angle
that I'm coming from, big up to them, it's a trophy.
Yeah.
Just like I said with Spurs, it's a trophy, right? But when I got this, Chelsea, so first thing this morning, I'm going to admit, I didn't watch the game because I was at the...
first half, they were terrible.
I was at the Ghana-Nigeria game last night, which, by the way, people, that was brilliant. The Unity Cup at Brentford, that game, the atmosphere in that stadium, it was absolutely popping. And I'm looking forward to Saturday, the final, Jamaica versus Nigeria. That's going to be some fun. So that's why I would have watched it if I weren't there, but I wasn't. I've seen the goals and everything, but I didn't actually watch it live, right? First thing this morning, my brethren Carlton, big Chelsea fan, yeah, set completed. What did you win? Now, that's when I start to get angry, right? I'm like, yo, listen, everything you just said, I agree with. For those players and their emergence, you know, I mean, they're young, they've got the youngest squad, they're coming through. It's a moment for them. It could be...
Tyreek George and these kind of guys.
It can be lift off to things. Don't go coming out now comparing it to this and that, because you shouldn't be...
Yeah, but they're meant to wind you up.
That's
football banter, isn't it?
Mate,
hold on a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, Robbie, wait a minute. When you won the Champions League, the Women's Champions League, I know you said it was just...
That's different.
No.
That's different. That's the big one. Biggest.
You see now? You see? It's the biggest. It's not even that. You see? We catch him straight away.
No,
so
but
you should call it a trophy, not biggest. You don't want it like that.
With the women's Champions
we can call
League,
it biggest.
I'm not putting that in the men's. That's got nothing to do with the men's.
Some Arsenal fans, not you,
I work,
but there was a lot.
Listen, right?
Certain man ain't won nothing in Europe this year.
I'm not putting that in the men's. There was a guy who came for me, right? Like, and he was saying to me, "Oh yeah, you haven't even been to no women's." I say, "Yo, bro, shut your mouth." True. I was at the semi-final. I was at the quarter-final. What are you talking about? I go to a lot of women's games, right? And the women's game is separate to the men's game. And actually, we just got having a little laugh at Chelsea because actually the Chelsea women's team has been built to win because they kind of always win in recent times. They've always won the league. They were really going hard after the
Matisse is in
Champions
the chat
League.
saying we've won it all.
Well, yeah. Well,
He's not
They're
wrong.
not wrong.
No, they have won it all, but they shouldn't really be.
Yes,
you know,
but because they are,
maybe they're a bigger club.
Still celebrate.
But you have to be careful with it because, like I said,
maybe they're a bigger club than Real Madrid.
But this is what I'm saying.
The Giants,
Liverpool,
they won it all.
The Giants of Europe don't care that they're not saying we've won it all.
Yeah.
Like as a United fan, we've won Europa League. We've got a couple of Champions European trophies as well. I'm not annoyed that we haven't won the Conference League. Because if you end up in the Conference League, it means something's wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm saying.
But if you get there,
the clubs with more trophies in Europe than Chelsea.
Of course.
6 Champions Leagues, 3 Champions Leagues. We're not really offended by it. But the teams that don't have any, that's who's going to be offended.
And we got
Chelsea fans.
European Cups.
Chelsea fans were cussing West Ham fans for singing, you know, about
but swings and
being champions
roundabouts,
of Europe.
isn't it?
So that's all I'm saying. But I think for those,
it changes when you win.
But I do think for those players, it's a big moment.
Massive, man.
For those young players, well done to them. You know what I mean?
And listen,
for
Enzo Maresca, man. Let's have it right. Let's have it right. Yeah,
he's had a great season.
At the beginning of the season, me included, the narrative, and probably rightly so, with what Chelsea had put up in front of us, we didn't have much to go off apart from chaos. The man was getting ridiculed. Oh, your players can't fit in the changing room. I remember he did a press conference. He was like, "Listen, you lot can talk." Yeah, remember we were laughing at him, and you go. He's like, you lot can laugh, basically, but I work with this 24. This is my squad. I know it's a bit harsh. Them man are sorting out their futures. I don't really know about that. Over here, my training squad is this. The man's locked in. Have they had issues along the way? Yes. They got problems in goal. They got problems at the top end of the pitch. The style of play, they had a difficult period in around Christmas and stuff like that. But he stabilised them, and he has achieved his objective.
His objective was
get us back into the Champions League, get us that money, give us a springboard to build. And obviously, it's a minimum requirement you win that Europa
but then
League.
he's achieved his objective. I think he's had a good season.
And
I
Matisse,
think when you take over the Chelsea that we saw last season, that's a big job. It'd be like the equivalent of like taking over United now for Ramarin, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
And
Chaos.
he's you have to say,
And
like
he's
you said,
brought calm.
and he's achieved the objective. And you can see those players are playing for him as well.
Yeah, and you know, if you cast your minds back, and I remember it, how many times did he say it to what Matisse wanted at the start of the season? It was Champions League and win the Conference League. And they've done it. They've accomplished.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we can all do the comparison thing. Arsenal wanted to win the league. They didn't do it. But Chelsea have actually ticked off the Champions League and ticked off the trophy. And
that was their kind of maximum ceiling. That was their us. Obviously, if you get better, it's great. But they were like, what's realistic is, look, we finished sixth last year. We need to get back in the top
better
four.
FA Cup run, Carabao run.
Yeah, but the main thing was
the main things.
you have to win that Conference League and you've got to get top four. They were the non-negotiables
I
and
don't
they
think
did
we
it.
can knock it because, yes, they've completed the set. It's a set that Real Madrid will never complete. It's a set that Liverpool, Barcelona will never complete. However, they've achieved what they set out to achieve this season. So give Maresca some
listen,
credit.
all jokes aside with me, right? If you're in it, win it.
100%.
They've won it, right? So
That's it.
you know, I think that trophy, right, is one of the nicest trophies.
Yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it?
I like that trophy.
Yeah.
Man.
That one looks like
looks
just
good.
the smaller version of the Europa, because the Europa League one's kind of the same,
Do you know
isn't
what?
it? But it's
The Europa League's a beautiful trophy.
Europa
as well.
League's a
yeah,
nice
like the
trophy
way
as
it's
well.
I really
slanted.
like it.
Yeah,
I really
I thought
like
that
it.
last Wednesday.
You actually, the Champions League
Dead
actually-
now, rubbish.
Don't you think that Champions League, right, is actually
Needs a
the
little
ugliest
revamp.
of all the trophies?
Yeah,
No,
it is.
I'd say it's
But
the
it's just the most
beautiful one.
iconic, though.
It's
If
the
you have
icon.
that,
No, it's
how big it
iconic.
is, it's so iconic.
No, it's iconic. It's wicked, but it's not a stylish.
It's not as
trophy, is it?
sleek, but
Where is? Oh, it's there.
It's not a
I
stylish
don't know,
trophy. though,
when
is it?
you got 6 of them, like we've had a good look at them.
God.
Alright, move on, man.
Yeah,
Move on,
move
man.
on.
See what you started now.
Right,
man.
Safer chats. Jamie says if PSG wins the Champions League, then Dembele gets Ballon d'Or. But if Inter wins
I
it,
agree.
does an Inter player deserve to get the Ballon d'Or, or
Lautaro.
does it go to someone else?
Well, they didn't win the league. They didn't win the league as well, though.
Over Salah?
That's true. I think if Dembele wins it, you give it to Dembele.
If PSG win it, you mean? Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. If PSG win it, you give it to Dembele.
What if Inter win it?
Then I'd probably give it to Salah still, because Inter didn't
Nah,
win the
give it
league.
to Rafinha over him, man. Move, man. Nah.
Can we get a poll up?
Maybe like neck and neck with Salah.
we get a
Salah's
poll
been
up?
amazing.
Who's-
I just don't want him to have
Probably
it.
up
but
Can we get
yeah.
a poll up? Who'd be the? So we'd have Dembele, Rafinha, obviously Salah.
You'd have to stick
Who else?
Lautaro in.
What about Lautaro
Lautaro
Martinez?
Martinez.
Yeah, you have to have him in the mix. But
4.
He's probably the least favourite.
Yeah.
Who
PSG
else?
don't really have any other candidates that throughout the whole season, like
Yeah.
Doué and Bacola.
Did you watch Inter play on Friday when they were going for the league? They literally rested about 7 players. It's like they said, we can't be asked to win the league.
Yeah, it's
So
that.
we're going for the Champions League, and if they
Yeah.
lose that now, then that decision becomes a bit
Yeah.
laughable. And big up man like Scott McTominay on
Yeah.
the cigars.
Scored
yeah,
as
on
well.
The bus.
It's not cigars, mate. It's ciggies.
Yeah, Siggy's.
There's Maurizio Sarri's,
But
mate.
he was dancing with a nice lady and that, and he was just not even
Chuffing
thinking,
away,
bro.
bro.
They said, right, I
Big him
watched
up, man.
I watched that
He's
game.
God out there,
immortalised
bro.
now.
Yeah,
They said that
immortalised.
absolute hero. I've never seen of it. Did you see the game, right?
Yeah.
When the
Finished
game,
as well.
when they
Mad.
scored goals,
Great
right,
goal.
they showed outside
Firework I've
the
let
firework,
off.
like the whole
Bro.
place was lit up
Look
to
what
here.
he left, and obviously Lukaku as well.
Fair play to
Look
him.
what
Lukaku
let's
scored
not
as
forget, Lukaku left Chelsea,
Yeah, and he scored as well.
and
Yeah.
he scored.
He's had a
So-
great
You
season.
know what?
wicked
And
goal.
Scott McTominay, Billy
And
Gilmore,
Conte, who left Tottenham.
Conte.
And Conte, only Conte's like, oh, I still might leave, you know, with a contract. Yo,
Yeah, yeah.
what's going
That's
on?
typical
There's
Conte
always
though,
problems,
isn't
isn't
They
it?
said no, but
He
what they
goes
said
and
is-
delivers.
They said that when he came in there, right, like that, the owner of that club is like, he's known for,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't mess
yeah.
around.
Yeah,
So there's
taking the
like,
piss in that.
most people thought that this is crazy. They're going to end up fighting or something. These two can never work
They
together.
still might.
Because they're the same character, and they've won the league.
But you know what else I was thinking of as well? It doesn't happen in this country. Look at what Conte's done of what this is legendary state. He's gone to 3 massive clubs
First
in Italy
person.
Yeah.
and won the league.
Juventus, Napoli, and
Inter, yeah?
Yeah.
Think of that like a comparison to that in England. That'll be like winning the league at Man United, Chelsea, and
Arsenal.
like maybe Arsenal or Spurs. or
Mourinho,
something like-
Mourinho was kind
Mourinho
of trying
tried
to
to
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah, but he couldn't. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
there's not many managers that have a stint at different clubs where everyone loves him the same.
He's
but
a
in
good- he-
Italy,
he's actually
he's
a
going to
great
be
manager.
revered in all of them fan bases.
Cannot believe that
Mad, and they're rivals.
he came
Do
to
you know what I mean?
Spurs
Yeah.
and flopped.
Imagine me and you having a manager in common where we're like, nah, that's my
No,
guy.
never.
And you're
It
like,
would
that's
never
hard.
happen.
It would
In
never
Italy,
happen.
though, there obviously is still massive tribalism. But if you look at the players in the past, like the Pirlos,
They do
that
swap
they
across,
swap
yeah,
around.
that's true.
R9, they
Yeah,
swap
yeah,
and
yeah.
mix so much. You know,
lot
I've
of
never
people
seen
in-
it. Zlatan.
A lot of people in the chat are saying there's a name that we forgot, Yamal.
Yeah. Just
Ballon
because of
d'Or.
like how good he is for how young he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't there
And they
like
won the
young,
domestic treble.
Isn't there the young Ballon d'Or
Oh,
award?
but now he should be in there.
But he's in the main thing as well.
Yeah, he's in the
What's
main
the
thing.
young
main
one
thing.
called? Golden Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
he's definitely got
He's
that.
got
That's
that
like,
already.
but at
Yeah,
this
they can't
stage,
have
he's that
both.
good. That's an idiot thing to.
But I think he can be in the
Oh,
main
which
thing.
Golden Boy? Yo,
He can be in the
No,
main
but
thing as well.
next year he can, you know.
No, he's
man,
in
that
it. He's
good.
in it
Yeah,
now.
He's in the
He's
big
now,
boy
man.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
we
in the
got
top
a
boy.
He's
poll
old enough
going.
to drink.
We'll revisit it in a minute.
Yeah, your
find out how
man.
he's
Give it to
saying.
him, man.
Draven Square says in Indonesia, the top league winner is Persib. One of the players got called up for the All Stars, and even
It's the
even
team that
then
beat
was
United.
only the sub. Still won versus Manchester United.
Say that again.
1-0.
So he's a player from Indonesia who got called up into that team.
Oh, yeah.
I want to ask you a question
we're
about
gonna
that
ask
later
you-
on in the show.
All right, let's ask him about that in a minute. Let's
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
few more super chats.
Oh,
He
shit.
can't win Golden Boy as he won it last time. So
There you go.
don't
Oh, dear.
really mark.
Sort of already
he's
done
in
that. So
Come on, Mugs.
it's in
John,
the big boy thing. No.
John Valentine Fallon says Palace FA Cup winners, Europa League, Chelsea. No, it's Conference League, mate. Get it right. Completed football, but London is red. Well, you better get your facts right. They won the
think it
Conference
is.
League.
At the minute.
Aziz says, Robbie, we won the cup for you last night. Chelsea won the cup for you last night. For who?
Not me.
No, you win that for me.
Wanted to stop betters winning it, did you?
Amardeep Singh says, Flex and Robbie need to hold this L. Absolute clown clubs.
All right.
COYB is set. Where is Arsenal?
Come on, you
and Man
Blues.
United's trophy. Okay, come on, that's where they'd go wrong now. You know,
No,
it's
but
a
they're not wrong.
Conference
You've got to hold
League.
it.
I'm not in a
Bro,
position
all
to
right,
be.
so
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Chelsea fans, right? When
Oh,
you
here we
was
go.
You can do this.
no,
I'm
no,
staying out.
No,
you're saying
No, I'm
that.
staying out
you're-
because I'm 15th, mate.
No, you're
So
saying
I'm not
that, right?
out.
So why were you celebrating getting into the Champions League?
What do you mean? Oh,
just go back and win it. Go and defend it.
Nah, man.
No, but that's what you're saying, isn't it?
No,
like,
because now you're
don't
You're
listen.
going
The
back on
Chelsea
the point that
fans.
you
So
made
you're
about
saying
the
they
young
can't chat
players.
to you? What
No,
are you
no,
saying?
no, no. What I'm saying is just be understated with the win. You won
What? Be
it.
humble in
No,
this
no,
football
no,
thing.
no.
This,
You won
Robbie.
it. You completed the set.
No,
you call it
But
amongst
don't talk to you.
can't
amongst
tell them to be
yourself.
Yeah, but you don't
humble.
have no European
No,
pedigree, so they're
no,
going to
no,
come
no.
to you. And you say you're the
wanna
biggest
be
in
in the
London.
You
Conference
can't tell them
League.
to be humble.
Yeah,
You
it's
did
hard.
this for Tottenham. You said,
Brother,
I don't want
I
to be
don't-
in that. You've done it for Chelsea.
I'm
I
not
don't want
being
to be in
humble.
that.
Yo,
Well, win the something
I'm
that
not
you
being
are in
humble.
then.
I don't want to be in that. You
Okay,
asked me.
well, win the thing that you're in. You're
Yeah.
in the Champions League. You're in the Premier League.
I
You're in
know.
the Carabao.
And we could have win it.
You
Is
spent
that
time in Europa.
You
Didn't win it.
You know, it's a bit like you know when you're playing FIFA, the easy level, right? And the hard level.
Well, it's on amateur.
Robbie, stop,
Yeah,
It's on
please,
amateur.
stop.
You're playing on
so,
world class.
you know,
Matisse, I'm defending you here, bro.
Yeah,
Easy level, man,
You
sir.
won on the amateur level, right? So you're better than the guy. who-
Shirt over his head,
I mean,
amateur.
oh,
like,
bloody hell. Yeah, so go back in it.
Nah, the level, yeah, they did have
Go
players who
back in
shouldn't have
it.
been playing.
Matisse said, no trophy since 2020, and my brother
He
is telling us
sat
how
in-
to win.
Listen, let this guy shut
Dude,
it, right? Because
nah,
he
you
sat in
can't
here
shut it, though.
on Monday, right? Matisse, you criminal. You sat here on Monday.
He's not a
I don't really care about that. All I care about, right, was getting in the Champions
No,
League.
he said
If we
early
win
on
it, we
he
win
wants
it.
to win this. I'll
Yeah.
back
If we
him
win
up.
it, we win
He
it.
said
And then,
must.
He said we must win this.
And then I
it
saw-
would be embarrassing if they
Yeah,
didn't.
right,
win
and then I'll chat to Rory.
And you would have
right?
been the loudest if they didn't win it. Hold on, wait a minute. If
Trust
they
me,
didn't win this,
if Real Matisse won, you would have been
exactly.
shameless.
What do you mean,
bro.
nah?
I wouldn't have been going on about
Robbie,
it much.
no.
Robbie,
no,
last
no,
week on the show,
no,
you said
no,
you
no.
better win that. Last week to Matisse, he said you better win that.
And can I
And
put
they
this
did.
there?
They
Let's
did
be
win it.
honest. And this is what we can
Robbie
all
moving
agree on.
mad
We can
today.
all agree. Robbie, we can all agree. Let's be honest. We're all locking him. Go, and then he please.
Yes.
Like, embarrassing.
Mate, I was
man.
wearing
Every
my
how they
Matisse
don't win
shirt last
this.
night.
I'll be honest with you.
I was wearing my
We all
Matisse
wanted
shirt
Betis
last
to win,
night.
but they didn't.
The
They
honest
got
to God's-
smoked.
The honest to God's truth, right, is I was at that. I wasn't even at. I didn't watch a game, to be honest. So I was at that game, and I was enjoying that so much.
If you would have watched the first half, you'd have been.
Yeah.
"Oh,
No,
they're
no,
getting
that's
it
what I
wrong."
mean.
They should have been 2-0 up.
And
Yeah,
somebody
Yeah,
said
they
to me at
should.
half time, they go, "Yeah, Betis are winning 1-0."
What did
Right?
you say
They
then?
go, "Betis win." I said,
Did
it-
you go, yes, get in
I said
there?
that. I
said
said
they'll come back.
I actually said they ain't winning, man. They ain't
Yeah.
not, I said Betis are not beating Chelsea. I go, they're not gonna.
We got Betis, so they're my
Right?
Spanish
So
team.
I actually wasn't even that
Almost
excited.
bet.
Oh, I got a
When-
message
when-
from Matisse. I got a message from Matisse though.
For him.
For him down the lens because I know he's watching. Sancho, you saw what he's capable of. Yeah?
Shameless.
Off the bench, he's part of your European heritage. Yeah, you need experience in that squad. People who are big game players and make impact and find the back of the net. You've been asking for Jadon Sancho to shoot for the longest of times. He's improved. He's heard your calls. So I'm going to take this finger and open up my hand like this. Run me the peas.
Send that
Yeah?
gum.
25 M's. Bargain, Matisse. Bargain, Chelsea fans. You've done a try before you buy. There's no reason to use that £5 million prize money, which you get for actually winning the Conference League, to use that as the fee to actually send him back to us. So don't pay the £5 million penalty. Pay £25 million, okay? Chelsea fans, you've had a taste of what you're going to get. He scored a goal in the European final. That could be the Champions League next year. That could be in the Champions League. Listen, exactly, Champions League finalist.
No, sign him. He's champion of Europe. So
there you go. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
sign him, Matisse. Run up the P's.
Nikhil says, no amount of security seems to suffice in mitigating such threats. We're talking about what happened in Liverpool. Fans can't even enjoy their parade. Idiots everywhere. Heart goes out, and we all second that. Hey, Rizwan Khan says, Salim, Robbie, I want to marry your daughter, Kenya. Yo,
yo. Who named Salim? Yo.
Right? You having
turn up with a £2 billion dowry. I might consider it.
Is that how much you rate her at?
A £2 billion dowry, Bridget, and I'll consider it.
Yeah.
Jono says,
you'd have to think
bring me more
then,
Cold Palmer interviews. He got cold. I heard he was the man in the match. Is that true? Cole Palmer.
Yeah, he was.
He played well.
Hey, Robbie.
Played well.
Robbie.
Bad
good.
He shouldn't be playing
the second assist.
Nah, he's not at that level.
When he's just,
so
when he's just holding a man off, going, yup.
He is a wicked player.
On the ball, rolls it that way.
I think that was a bit weird this season how he just fell off because I do rate him as a player.
He just had a difficult period first time. We forget that this is Cole Palmer's second season playing football.
Yeah.
We forget that because he's a late arriver. Because
but look at the trophies he's won, by the way. Champions League, Super
Exactly.
Cup,
I mean, he weren't
Conference
really
League,
involved
League.
like that, but he hasn't played, so he experienced his first dip in his career.
You know what,
and guess what? That's what top players do. He had that dip, and now, boy,
actually, he could be coming into form at the right time because actually, what would be a bigger prize for Chelsea if they win that Club World Cup? Because you've seen the prize money on that.
100 million.
I'll tell you now,
unreal. That would
they
be
winning that, right? They are not winning that.
Bayern and PSG.
There's no way they're beating Real Madrid in a European.
You
can't say that.
European
No, you can't say that.
Beat Real Madrid? Why can't they beat Real Madrid? They can beat Real Madrid.
This Real Madrid's version is different.
Why can't they beat Real Madrid?
Okay, maybe not just Real Madrid. Naming the other big teams that are in it.
PSG,
Bayern,
Juventus, I think.
Chelsea will not win the Club World Cup.
Why?
Because of the other teams I've just mentioned. And don't try this now.
Because also you
can't
don't
have
know.
it both ways,
you don't know how tired other teams are, how serious they're taking it.
I'm not even bantering Chelsea now. They could, of course, they could beat those teams.
They could, but in my opinion,
if
if it came down to it in a final between any of those teams,
but they've got some good players. AGT. Chelsea have got some good players.
I know.
This could be your famous last words, bro. If they win that,
it means nothing to me. I'm not in it. Like, I've already won the Club World Cup with my team, like in Qatar.
No, but this is bigger than the Club World Cup now. This new format of it.
Did you know that this? You lot probably didn't. I was probably late to the party because I said, this is every 4 years. So I was like, right, so you got to wait 3 years to think. But there's an Intercontinental Cup. Did you know this?
Yeah, I didn't know about that one.
So the Intercontinental Cup has actually replaced what the Club World Cup is.
Yeah.
So in that December thing, you still go and do them couple of games where you get the gold back. You know the one I was like, how'd you get a gold back?
Asia,
yeah. So that still happens, but that's called the Intercontinental Cup.
Is that the one Tottenham are in?
I don't.
No, that's the Super Cup.
Yeah.
All right.
So you know when you win the Champions League and then you go and play the winners of like Asia and thing.
South America.
That used to be the Club World Cup. Now the Club World Cup has gone to this thing that's every 4 years, but the Intercontinental Cup has come in.
And you still got the Super Cup.
And that's the thing that the Club World Cup used to be, where if you win the Champions League, you go in that. So you're going to be in the Intercontinental Cup. Sorry, who won the Champions League? Well, whoever wins the Champions League is going to be in the Intercontinental
Cup. Spurs are going to play either PSG or Inter Milan in the Super Cup.
Yeah, in the Super
Cup.
Yeah.
And
so I didn't know that.
And Liverpool are playing Crystal Palace in the English Super Cup in August.
It's just called the Charity Shield, mate. It's called
but it should be called that. Let's have it right.
AGT.
AGT,
mate. The money goes to charity, yeah? It's a charity. It's a friendly, yeah?
Now is that all of a sudden every trophy
if they wanted
become
to
a huge
have
trophy.
it up a bit, they could call it
What, just rename it that? Everyone was still call it
because that's what they call it in Italy, Spain.
Nikhil says, on another note, Niger de Carilas can't wait to fight for the final versus Jamaica. Looks like the home-based players are killing it up Niger. It was a very entertaining.
I want Jamaica to win.
Come on, Jamaica, man.
I want Jamaica to win.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Afrobeats over dancehall. Yeah? No, let's show them dancehall never die. Yeah? Show them.
Trinidad's thing is soccer, isn't it?
Yeah. I was chatting to Soca. I was chatting to Ravel Morrison last night. So, yeah.
What's he saying?
Yeah. It's cool, man. It's cool. I mean, he said that.
Asked me if he wants to come back to Man United.
Well,
you take him.
He do no
That's
worse,
what I'm
could he?
saying.
Where is he now?
I'm not sure where he is now, but he plays for Jamaica.
I watched him in an interview the other day. He said his most enjoyable period in his career was in Mexico, funnily enough.
He's played all over, man.
Lazio,
He
he's
looked
played
well.
at.
He looked well.
West Ham.
Cypher says, AGT, remember you guys choked against Atalanta.
We did.
On your home ground.
100%.
How's in Europa,
when you
innit?
were favourites.
I went to the
Anthony
final,
who?
mate.
They smoked you.
Trust me, no one can tell me that was an understated trophy when I was there watching Atalanta lift it in Dublin.
Oh, yeah, you
But I was there,
covering
bro.
that, yeah.
I was
Defense
thinking that
says-
Liverpool would be there, but obviously,
Yeah, United,
what's his name? Ex-West Ham striker.
Antonio.
No,
Oh, no, he's
up front for Atalanta who scored the goals that put us out. I thought we'd win it, but what's his name?
Skamaka.
Skamaka.
Yeah.
He put us out. So big him.
United and Spurs would have lost to this Betis side, says Deepan.
Yeah, we would have.
Betis are a good team, though.
They
man.
are. They were putting it on
Grand-
Chelsea first half.
They were.
Grand Slam of football. We have it all. Top of all, says JC.
I'm not sure about that.
Grand Slam of football, you know.
Grand Slam.
If you look at European trophies won by English teams, Liverpool is still far and away the most. So
Mimo
not
says,
top of
Robbie,
all, but
you've
big
been
up.
unfairly dismissive of Spurs' win, poor form. In 30 years, only 7 Champions League dropouts have won it. Just one final had 2 Champions League dropouts, and only once were all semi-finalists from the Champions League. Not a Spurs fan, just data. Next one says Ty. It goes by the name of Ty. Says, just relax, Robbie. Jeez, can't bants you, but you bants others. You can bants me. Listen, I take it, man. Listen, I've been getting it in the air all like left, right. Even last night at that thing, I was getting it, man.
Yeah, too right.
And I can take it, man. I'm good.
Too right.
Yusa says, if the Conference League is such a big trophy, then the Community Shield is as well.
No, we can't do this and start comparing in different continents.
Community
different
Shield's just
trophies.
one game.
It's a charity game. But apparently it's a major, according to Arteta.
No, Pep said it.
Yeah, but Pep's when Pep says them things, you
said
know
it.
he's lying, though.
Pep said it.
Arteta, you go, right, he's being serious.
Yeah.
Pep said
There's a
it.
difference.
That's such a little man
It's a-
thing to me. That
Exactly.
I'm gonna pretend it actually
And then
means
There you go.
And Arteta's like, no, it does.
But you were just trying to talk it up into a Super Cup as well, weren't you?
No, people have been saying
Right.
that for years, that that's what it should be called instead.
I guess in other countries it is called that.
Yeah, Supercopa.
Yeah. SM Talks Football says, can we talk about Cole Palmer?
Hey, man.
Just
We
kinda
just
did.
did, yeah. It was
Just
good.
did.
Sonny says, Chelsea have completed football. Completed football.
Well, if you've won everything
Keep
there is
being
to win in
deluded,
football,
Robbie.
you could argue
Arsenal
that.
ain't winning no European trophies.
They haven't won the Emirates Cup, though.
Yeah. Maybe come and win. I think the Emirates Cup, was, judging by some of those teams I saw,
Ty would say that
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
judging by some of those teams I saw in the Conference League, right, I think the Emirates Cup is harder to win.
And they've not won the Invincibles.
Mamo says, when I say unfairly dismissive, I mean when you say that the competition is weaker this year, the data doesn't support your argument, you're wrong. Congrats to Spurs. I think I'm right. Stabos says, did Arsenal win the cups they were in, Rob? No.
No.
Abdallah says, every rival fan said we'd finish 8th to 12th. Now you want to gatekeep us and tell us about standards after winning the Champions League and got the top 4. Allow it. You won the Champions League. What are you on about?
He's right, to be fair.
Idris says 6th place in the EPL team. A 6th place EPL team is better than other 6th place teams. I expect the Premier League teams to continue to do well in the Conference League and the Europa League, especially with no Champions League teams dropping in.
And Robbie, do you know there's a clause in UEFA where, because Chelsea qualified for the Champions League and they qualified for the Europa League because they won the Conference League, the clause is if you do that, you can choose. So naturally, they're going to choose.
I think they should have let Brighton be in that Conference League for next year. I know would have had a good chance of winning it because they finished in it, but they still don't.
When you
get
say
that
should have
Champions-
let them,
Oh, they don't. So what? Who's in?
So it's Forest are in the Conference
Oh,
League,
Forest got the Conference League.
but because
that's poor for them.
you know, because
considering
Chelsea are, obviously they're in the Champions
Yeah,
League and
but they won
there
it.
was another place, but you just don't get that other place.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Right, let me come back to Super Chats in a minute. Let's talk about the Champions League because that is on Saturday, the big one.
Yeah.
PSG versus Inter Milan. First of all, I'll be very interested to find out from both of you, who would you like to win it?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm split down the middle, to be honest, because when PSG knocked us out, I was sitting right next to their away fans, who are obviously incredible, and I went over to them and said, "You better win it now. if you've beaten us, that's the team I'd like to win.
And they told you
But
to F off. So
no, they
that's
said
probably
no. They all shook my hand, including Stu. He was there as well.
Yeah.
And then, but on a sentimental one of my best friends in Liverpool, he's a doctor, Dr. Ferrari. He's the biggest Inter fan that I know, and I've watched with him his team lose a Champions League final before. So I can't choose, man. I mean, probably the team that deserves it because they've knocked out the Liverpools, the Arsenals. You know, they've played some incredible football this year. I would say I'd edge it slightly just to PSG. But in terms of competition football, defend, attack, entertainment, you know, pedigree, then Inter Milan are obviously a much bigger team, you know, in terms of European success than PSG. So it sounds silly. It sounds like very Jimmy Bullard and Fenners, but I hope the best team wins on the night. And I want to see that. I don't want it to be
took
a
all
team
that time
bleeding.
to get to that conclusion.
Yeah, because I can't pick. I've just told you I'm split down the middle.
Right, what about you?
I can't pick them.
I want PSG to do it.
Probably PSG though.
I want PSG to do
Sorry,
it.
Matteo.
But it's such a clash of styles, two completely different ways of playing football. They're both very effective at what they do. You got Inter Milan style that is very rugged. They are very defensively disciplined.
Very entertaining.
Very entertaining. They can attack in numbers. They've got that steel as well. Whereas you got the sort of exuberance, youthful exuberance from PSG, playing amazing, sexy football, always taking the ball on a half turn, nice little central midfielders, really high technicians, etc.
Unbelievable central midfielders.
Unbelievable central midfielders, youngsters. You know what I mean? In Bacola and Doué and obviously look what Dembele's doing. He's a little bit older, so yeah. Then the experience of Marquinhos, and it's a real turnaround for them. So yeah, I could see Inter doing them though. I could see PSG because PSG aren't perfect. They give you chances.
They give you chances,
And I think Inter is the sort of
gave
team.
us a lot of chances.
You know what I mean? Look what happened to Barcelona. Again, a new look for Barcelona. Got Yamal, got they're doing well, but you give some sniff of opportunity up because Inter never say die with some older players in there. So I could see Inter doing them, but I hope it's PSG.
I want PSG to win just before football. Like the excitement, the exciting way in which they play. I mean, I witnessed it.
Play football in the
when
right
we
way.
played them, like, you know, there's
And
two.
actually Enrique as well.
We moan a lot in football at the moment about the robotic style of teams. My team included can be very robotic at times. A lot of passes and stuff like that. And whereas you look at PSG, the exciting way in which they play, like the attacking front three. They're just like, I just love watching them play. They're a very, very exciting team to watch at the moment, and that's why I want them to win, because I just want I want a team like that to win. I want us to get back to that style of sort of football, like lots of
I know
attack.
what you mean.
And you get my meaning.
'cause
So
it brings you back to that kind of mid-noughties Barcelona team who played football in the right way. Also, Luis Enrique as a manager, as a person,
he's been through
I
a
think
lot
he's
as
been
well
through
recently.
a lot.
He has.
And listen, we can't say as football fans we think that he deserves to win because what he's been through. Because then you could look at Inzaghi and say, well, look at what he's managed to achieve at Inter. But I think on the night, I want the best team to win. I know I'm sitting on the fence here, but I probably would edge
No, but
it
as
to
a
PSG.
neutral, yeah,
I probably
yeah.
would edge it to PSG, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like, you know, I'd love to see him win it, but you know, I think, and I get the feeling that, you know, you're not going to see the Inter that you saw in the semi-final. I just don't think you're going to see that open. They're going to go back to lockdown mode.
You never know,
right,
though.
in that final,
Never
because
know.
you know that's what you do in finals, kind of thing. So I'm
Depends if
hoping
they
it's,
score first
I'm hoping it's
or
an
depends.
entertaining final. I really do.
I
hope
think
it's
it
an
would. No, I
entertaining
think with
final.
PSG involved in the way they play football, what really showed me about PSG, yes, what they did to you and how they played, like this. When they went to Anfield and they were like pressing you all over the park, I went,
They were brilliant.
these young kids got no respect for anyone. And then they did the same thing. That
Did it to
first
us,
20
did
minutes
it
of the
to
Emirates,
Villa,
yeah, I went, raw. They got no respect for anyone in terms of, rightly so, they play
rightly
their
so.
way. So it ain't going to be boring. They will be pressing, they will be attacking, loads of movement. It's going to be exciting, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. But remember, we did that poll on the Ballon d'Or winner, and it could be swayed a lot if PSG win on Saturday. But the poll so far, and now it just disappeared.
I've got it here.
It was 8% Rafinha, am I right?
Yeah,
28%
Salah, 30% Yamal, and 32% Dembele, which goes to back up our point.
Yeah.
If Dembele wins this Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain, their first ever one, considering the goals, assists, the other trophies, I mean, they've taken the piss this year.
Players
Joke.
to watch on both sides. Obviously, Dembele, right? The two players to watch on both sides.
Denzel Dumfries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
player,
because we'll all talk about the attackers. Well, in that system, he basically is as a right wing
great
back. But
semis.
listen, he's powerful, and not only going that way. If you look at who would be on the left for PSG, probably Kvaratskhelia, maybe.
Yeah.
Arguably, maybe.
Good
Could be Doué. We don't really know. You know.
Kvaratskhelia will start.
But will he be the left or the right? Probably the left. Yeah. You know, Denzel Dumfries against him is going to be a wicked matchup. But also going that way, Dumfries is on it. Yeah, assists, goals, powerful. So I'll definitely be looking out for him as one for me.
Lautaro Martinez.
Do you know what?
Obviously.
I'm looking at the players now for Inter, and naturally we look at your Martinez's, your Correas, Marcus Thuram's, but I'm looking at the rest of the squad, and with all due respect to them, there's no like standout superstar names. You've got Arnautovic there, who's well past his best.
He don't.
Bastoni, who is brilliant to be fair,
good.
but when we think back to that Inter team with Milito and Wesley Sneijder and Zanetti, Figo was there. It was full of stars, and actually sometimes, as we've seen with PSG in the past, sometimes when it is full with stars and Galacticos, you don't always.
And
this
is why Inter are such a good team. You look at
they know what they are.
Marco, the left wing back, they're at it. These men are committed channel like these
Barella, Mkhitaryan.
That's what I'm saying. Like these men are on it.
They
are, and they might not be like you said the biggest names individually, but collectively
they don't care
as a team.
about that.
Jan Sommer's been making massive saves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
Taremi as well.
Yeah, as a group, as a collective, it's less about in one. That's what makes them so powerful.
The pressure's on both of those teams to win it. Like Inter lost their last final there. PSG, as we know, they've lost finals that like invested.
They
a lot
lost
of
to
money
Bayern Munich 5 years ago, didn't they? PSG,
this is big.
Kvaratskhelia,
one of these two teams are going to break that mold. Kvaratskhelia.
He actually is someone that I look at as a future Ballon d'Or winner.
Why did
in maybe 2 or 3
I'm
years?
surprised that no Premier League team went in for him.
Went Liverpool looking at him.
Yeah, but
it's all right. Going to get Verts.
Talking about you were just saying some breaking news from David Ornstein.
Yes,
that you wanted to bring to us.
Yes, it's kind of what Man United fans already knew anyway, but because it was in light of what was happening before the Chelsea game last night. But David Ornstein has tweeted in the last 15 minutes or so. He says that Liam Delap suitors are being informed he's not joining them amid preference to sign for Chelsea. Sources at likes of Man United, Newcastle United, Everton Football Club, and Forest Football Club. Yeah, everyone was in for him. Everyone's in for him, innit? It's 30 million, isn't he, striker?
Yeah.
They're now aware the 22-year-old is on course for Chelsea, subject to personal terms and release clause requirements being met.
Is it still a risk?
Is that a good signing for Chelsea?
It's a good signing for Chelsea.
Or is it low risk?
He is a market opportunity to get a young up-and-coming English player who, he passes the eye test. He knows where the back of the net is. He scored 12 goals for a really poor Ipswich team, one of the worst we've seen in the Premier League. And he knows where the back of the net is. It's always still a risk putting that much pressure on a young 22-year-old. But with Chelsea, if I'm honest, I can see them. That's just collecting. They get another one. I mean, because Chelsea can enter the chat for the big boy strikers.
Do you think they'll get him and another big?
I think so.
Only if they sell Jackson, though, right?
Because they've got Jackson.
Yeah, I suppose. Or maybe they might be happy with just those two. Chelsea fans, let us know. I just feel that, because you're right, to put everything on him, because Jackson's basically proved he's probably not good enough.
See, his goal came off his neck yesterday.
And then he was clean through to get the third. The man pulled his hamstring.
Criminal.
Man took baggy touch when he clean through the whole half.
I don't even think he pulled his hammy though.
Oh, he just came off
had a shit touch.
Yeah, mate. No, but after that he came off injured. So maybe it was because he was
trying to chase after that ball that he put in front of himself.
He's not clinical enough. I think overall, I think he's got like 18, 19 goals and assists across all competitions in the end. So in the end, it's all right. But Chelsea fans will know with the eye test, he ain't it. So. But just on Liam Delap, I think is a really good signing.
Yeah,
Would you like to at United?
I think with the aisles we're shopping in, we had to be realistic. It was someone that was attainable. We put our project to him. We tried to get him, and I can understand why. But it always made me a little bit uneasy, just because, like I just need someone more experienced, man. He is better than Højlund. It's an upgrade, but he's still a young 22-year-old coming into that United team with that much pressure. Go and get me Mateta.
What's the project?
Really?
Or go and get me someone 25, 26, 27.
Hold on, wait. What's the project?
What project?
You just said he's too early for your project. What's your project?
No, I said we sold him our project and he didn't want to come.
Yeah, what is your project? What do you think?
Return Man United back to greatness. You can spearhead Man United back to greatness.
Don't get relegated. That's the
but,
project.
What would your pitch to Isak be?
Malaysia.
Come second.
No,
Come here, you might be able to nearly win something. You know what I mean?
No, I'll be like, let's go.
No, I'll stay at Newcastle. I just won something. I'm in Champions. It's the same thing.
No, my project,
my project
might be.
He's ruined you there.
No, but my project might be. We play a league season, then we go to Malaysia, right? And we have trips around.
Money Afamek, biggest club in the world, isn't it? Money Afamek.
We have trips. Now, come on, talk to us about that game, man.
Eat that thing.
10 mil you got for it though, so
8 mil.
Was it 8 mil?
Oh, mate. Do you know what? Yeah.
He got booed off.
Listen.
Good. By Malaysian fans.
Listen.
Even their turn.
They're all supporting Liverpool now.
I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the Malaysian fans who.
I thought you would have went.
For what? I'm going pre-season tour. That's bad enough. I ain't doing post-season tour. You mad? Nah, I ain't going to the things being refreshed with some new man and go see Cunha and say, yo, all right, you're going to turn this thing around. Give me a couple of new man I can be friends with. Not these, man. Done. But anyway, I feel sorry for the Malaysian fans that, like, it's always what I will say is it's always beautiful for fans around the world to get a glimpse of their heroes, right? We take it for granted sometimes on this side of the globe because we go to games and we get wrapped up in emotion like every fan does. But these fans wake up at mad times in the morning, have to watch this rubbish. And I'm just sorry that they couldn't get a better product. Like they couldn't see this team in a better light. They're seeing that. You know what I mean? But it's a total farce. It's just for money. And there's two sides to it. One side is that, listen, these men have finished 15th and been the worst they've ever been. Obviously, they ain't going to want to get on a plane straight after beating Villa, fly all the way to Malaysia and Hong Kong, and put in effort and thing. And what? And us as fans, how are we also going to expect, if we're being serious, how are we going to expect to see any difference from last week? We're not, are we? There's no pre-season, there's no new players. Everything's the same.
She played all right last week against Villa.
Yeah, because there's no pressure. There's no need, because they won for no reason. There's no need to win. And I just think Man United come out looking worse from this because it's embarrassing that you lost. The players don't give a crap. And like you say, because you're going there and it's a commercial thing, Harry Maguire and Dalot are flying to India today to go and like sign stuff and do. When the team's been that bad, it's a bad look. But guess what? This is what Ineos are on. And not just Ineos, more clubs. Newcastle done this. Spurs done this last year. It'll be a matter of time before you lot start doing it. Yeah, it's money.
No, you are right.
Money Afamek, man. This is the new era of football.
Wasn't it Newcastle and Spurs did it?
That's what I'm saying. Last year went to Australia.
Let me ask you this
and
question,
they lost as well because they were all knackered.
No one cares.
Let me ask you this question because we've all heard what Amorim, not even allegedly, it's pretty much confirmed. He said what he said to Garnacho.
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to pray that a club is going to buy you.
Yeah.
So your manager says that, then you get on a 13-hour flight to Malaysia. You're standing there yawning. Have you seen?
Yeah, it's mad. His body language crazy.
People are like,
he's just said, yeah,
best sign shirts. He's going like that, like yawning.
Can't be asked.
What would you do in his situation
100%.
once you've been told, listen, you're a waste man, and anyone who buys
and
you
also,
is an idiot.
Man United, you're flipping wallies because what happened now? He mashes up his Achilles and he's out for a thing, and you want to sell him. They keep telling us we got no money and we've got to look to academy graduates as PSL, 100% profit, 50, 60 million, redo the squad with that. Then you make him tear his Achilles against Asian All-Stars in the post-match thing, innit? And then he can't leave. He's got out for the season with a thing.
He's got to get on the parade bus
where
he's getting booed.
Stupidness, man.
It's crazy.
Just when I thought it couldn't be any more embarrassing.
That happens.
That happens.
Bus. And then listen, I know United fans, we've got to keep context. They're saying, come on, Flex, man. When we actually went 1-0 down, it was all the kids playing at that moment. It was. It was. But so I'm not saying because what people are saying is that Amorim told us in the speech, the last day of the season, this is him, on the whatever of November when I had 2 wins and 1 draw, I told you the storm is coming. Now what I want to say to you all is the good days are coming. And everyone went, it's like in the stadium. Yes, Ruben, come on, yeah. So then everyone's going.
Not for 5 years.
So everyone's going, bro, you told us the better days are coming, bro. The very next game, we've just lost to a team who's just been thrown together like the English and Irish Lions, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and
what is
the
this?
picture of the players in the starting 11, like Casemiro, they're all like.
Can't be arsed, bro. So we have to keep context. Like, it's the kids and them, man, can't be able to be there. And we ain't bought anyone yet. And you ain't had no time training. So how could we expect improvement? We've lost in 3 different countries. We haven't lost anything, but 2. Both in Europe, but Spain and England. And then we've played 3 different countries, though, in a week. And we're still embarrassing ourselves. And
you won one of them.
And we won one of them. We won the one that didn't matter.
Yeah.
John Valentine says, Robbie talking about the Conference League being amateur level in a game he can't afford. Suj says, Robbie, respectfully, whilst you may not be in those tournaments, it's still a trophy that we've not won. We can't even beat a terrible Manchester United. Deepan says, realistic striker signing for Arsenal, Liverpool and United. Arsenal, Gyökeres,
Ekitike and John Parkin for United.
Jamie Vardy on a free.
Big lad from Stoke.
Jamie Vardy on a free.
Which I'll take.
Jackie
I'm scared now. I don't know
Ivan
who we're
Toney.
going to get.
Could you attempt? Could you throw the?
He's
the
on
book?
big money, man.
Peas, man. He ain't.
Peas. 400.
Got to stay 2 years to get the tax-free things on,
true.
innit?
Yeah.
Hendo didn't even do that.
400
Yeah.
million, man.
Nah,
Hendo
man.
going back to Sunderland, maybe.
Yeah, good
Would
move.
make sense. Wouldn't it?
Jackie says, wrong AGT. The "we won it all" is directed to you, Liverpool and Man United fans, the European Heritage Club. They don't need this third tier cup to be laughing at Arsenal. The big brother just won it all.
The big brother. No, but you're not the big brother, though. You've got 2 Champions Leagues, and we've got 6.
Yeah, but you haven't won it all. They've done the full set.
Yeah, but Liverpool don't care. They ain't won. The
Yeah,
Conference
but you
League.
can say that.
The
to
real
Arsenal,
big man.
bro. You can't say that. To
You're
us.
not begging to go. Do you know? What? I hope, you're not going. You're not going. I tell you what, these Chelsea fans are right. I hope we finish 7th
Yeah,
next year,
exactly.
so I can get in
Exactly.
that and show
There's
and
no
prove
way.
them wrong. You're
You
not.
were in the Europa League
Yeah,
last
but
year.
we've won the Europa
They've
League
won it.
3 times,
Yeah.
Robbie, as well.
Yeah.
No, that's what he's saying. The whole set.
Apart from Real Madrid, in terms of European
Set.
trophies.
No, but the thing that makes
you
it the
can't
set
do
is
that.
the lowest thing. They can't say that, man.
You haven't done the set though. Ricky 30 says, I did my research.
set,
Arsenal was only knocked out twice by a club that dropped from the Europa League for the Champions League. So why didn't you win the other times?
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good point.
Yeah, we've got to do the set, man. Sorry, the set.
Do you want to win the
Clara
Conference League?
Bitzy, big up, says,
Gotta win
Robbie,
the other
if you
2 first,
keep
mate.
If you'll keep your bias aside, we achieved our objectives for
Exactly.
this season, while Arsenal fell significantly short of their objectives. Hence, we had a better
And
season.
if you don't agree with that super chat, then you're deluded.
You're just
because
hating.
that is true. And
Then
that
you're
is
just
factual.
deluded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
You must agree with it.
I have no opinion
Can't
on it.
deny facts.
Chelsea.
Yeah, I've got no opinion on it.
they did have a good season. I said even before that.
You
super
said they were
chat come-
title challengers at
I
Christmas.
said even before that super
You were
chat coming.
pressuring Matisse to say it.
Even before that super chat coming, I said they had a good season. That they achieved their objectives.
I know, but it's the
Didn't
other
I
stuff
say
that you
Yeah.
said after that people remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what I
You're
mean?
forgetting that bit.
Clean your ears out. Chelsea
Look at now, it's their
FC
problem. It's not them
Chelsea
problem.
FC enjoys it.
No,
Well, they have to
Humility.
clean their
Can
ears
you
out.
say
Come on, man.
whatever Cope he wants, but Chelsea got top 4 and a trophy, better season than Arteta, and don't say that. Just facts, not emotional talk. Oh, and now my laptop has just gone funny haywire. Let me refresh to see if I can get those super chats. I'm back. I need your predictions, guys, for the Champions League final.
So tough. We're doing a watch-along party,
Mm-hmm.
aren't we? Potentially. That isn't confirmed yet, so we'll get back to you on that one. However, I can see this one going to penalties. And then at that point, it's anyone's game. Obviously, PSG knocked us out on pens. But let me go then, to make everyone happy, even though Inter fans won't be happy with this. I'll go a 3-2. Drama, goals, bad defending, maybe a couple of cards chucked in. And I go for PSG to finally break their European duck, their hoodoo, and they get a star. So I'll go PSG just. Sorry, Matteo, my mate, Inter fan.
I want it to be PSG, but I just feel some know-how and
Wily
just
old fox vibes.
that Italian
Yeah.
steel, the ugly ducklings, because they're not, the beautiful, amazing football. Even though they do play some good stuff, but they're more robust. I just have a feeling that they're going to have a say, and I think they're going to win it. I'm going to go Inter Milan 3, PSG 2.
Ooh.
I actually had Inter.
But I want it to be PSG.
I actually had Inter as my dark horses for winning this tournament, even before we got to the knockout stages. But I'm going to go for a bad mind win for PSG, and Dembele gets the Ballon
Yeah,
d'Or.
I'd love that.
Yes!
Yes.
Why would you celebrate
Yes.
that, though?
No, I'm with him on that.
Yeah,
So
but
your
what-
guy can't
but
get it.
what- Oh, is that what it is? Because you might as well just be honest. You might
Yeah,
as well say,
well-
so he wins a Ballon d'Or and Mo Salah doesn't win it.
Yeah.
Just be
Yeah,
honest.
well,
Yeah.
that's what we,
I'll admit that.
Well,
Yeah,
you,
okay.
you,
You can get behind that.
you never heard it.
Forza Inter. Forza.
Blacko says, AGT, fair play to you, but don't forget how Inter eliminated Bayern and Barca, the two big giants,
And that's why
they
the
came
respect is
out
crazy.
against Barca.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, incredible over both. They've been
Got
brilliant.
to respect that.
Inter have been brilliant in this.
You have to
thing.
respect that, man.
Clara Bizzi says, the lap to Chelsea from Fabrizio. Yes, we just spoke about that.
Nice to see Clara back in the show, by
Big
the
up
way.
Clara. Yep.
After she wins a trophy, she's back all of a sudden.
Are you? I'd like to ask, Clara, would you be happy with that, the lap only as your striker? Because obviously you got Jackson. Would you be happy?
Though, surely.
Because I think they wanted like a lot of Chelsea fans like Osimhen and people like that. Would they be happy with just
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's enough.
Also,
I think
isn't Jackson on like an 8-year deal?
Yeah, he's on a briefing, but Chelsea find ways.
Yeah.
I just think because Chelsea got into the Champions League and they got strong finances, whoever, it's a striker's market. So you got Ekitike, Gyökeres and Šeško. Whoever don't go Arsenal or Liverpool, there's one left who's a bad boy striker. And I think Chelsea can enter the chat, man.
I was thinking about this the other day, right?
Chat.
What's happened to Mudryk?
Well, he was there getting his...
No, but what's happened? Like, what's happened?
They're
What
investigating. They're still
It's a
investigating.
good question.
It's pending, isn't it?
It's
pending.
Why does it take so long?
Also, if we're talking about that, what's happened to the 115 charges as well?
Yeah,
by the way?
exactly. That's
We're in June now.
Yeah, it's just
Almost.
mad. But I was just thinking that the other day. I was
going on?
like, what's happened with Mudryk? What is the
Swept
conclusion?
under the rug a little bit, hasn't it?
It's a bit weird, that.
I don't understand it.
Maybe Clara can answer that one too. Bilal
Sweet.
says, Man United only club smash home and away and far away. Right? Man,
The Galaxy
Didn't
far,
get smashed.
far away.
Mimo says,
It's not really smashed, is it?
put a bet on Arsenal to miss the top 5 next year. Miss top 4 minimum. They just made it this year.
Nah,
Did we?
Don't say that. I'll tell you, get sacked if that happened.
Want to see X destroy that Jamaican Zordon. Right?
He's done that a
Enigma
few
says,
times already this season.
thoughts on Max Dowman in the under 17
He's wicked,
champs.
Isn't he like one of the best young kids
Will
of all
Arteta
time?
ruin him? How's he going to ruin him? He's been doing really well with some of these young players. Wanieri, of course.
But he hasn't played him enough one year at the end of the season.
Yeah, but maybe there's a reason for that. You know what I mean? But Mars Lewis Skelly as well. He's handling those kids right. Mimo says, Robbie, did you see Henry on the overlap? Basically said that Arsenal second place is nothing as they've
Agreed.
not bought in a trophy. We all agree with that. In the last 5 years, who said it
the
was
winners-
something?
No, because there's
Who said it was
fans
something?
having a go at Henry for daring to even question Arteta.
Nah,
but
but
that's
we
the
all
winner's
know.
mentality. That's the standards.
Henry's a
mate.
winner. That's what. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about.
What I do think with Arsenal over the last 5 years, the standards have dropped dramatically. You look at
No, I
but
think
you
it's
look at
improved.
Thierry Henry. His standards, unless I'm winning something at least every season.
No, AGT, you got that
I've moved
wrong
to
there because
Barcelona to win
you know
it.
what?
No, the standards have slipped.
No, you know what they haven't.
Henry's
Right?
spot on.
You know what they haven't because before then, right?
Henry's right, yeah.
Henry is 100% right, but the standards are not dropped, right? Because you know where you're wrong, right? And
But
I
he
can
said
tell you,
it's not good enough.
Hold on, I can tell you this, right? Arsenal fans have been getting excited about getting in the top 4, right? I was interviewing fans all over the last month, right? Not one fan mentioned to me the fact that they're in the top 4. They were just all disappointed about the league. That's where the standards
Maybe
have
it's the
gone up.
online fans.
It's
yeah,
about going.
that
Yeah,
don't go to the
well,
game.
I'm on about. You know, what I mean, the fans at the game. Not one person mentioned the top 4. That used to be a thing for us. Yeah, we made the top 4, celebrating, jumping up and down. No one cares about that now. They want to win the league.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Medical Bunker says, with the issue compounding, could United get relegated? I could
No.
not see United getting relegated.
Or can we?
Don't know
Sully
about that,
says, call me crazy,
You're
but could
crazy.
Ronaldo come back to Manchester United?
Not again.
I'll call you
No, because
crazy.
he's going to want to play in the Club World Cup, innit?
And
That's what's making that move.
listen, I know we make a lot of mistakes.
They're getting onto him though as well.
I'm
The
not
Al
gonna do
Nassr
that.
fans.
Absalan
signing
says
new deals.
Got to leave sometime.
that trophy looks like a glass vase in my
Does.
home.
My mum's got one. Very similar.
Mark T says, Robbie, would you take Sane on a free transfer at Arsenal, or do you think his prime is? I want us to. We did
Go
that
for a
last year
striker.
with Sterling. We need a striker,
Get a
and I want us to
striker,
go and get
You lot don't want to hear
spend
about
some
no
money.
nothing, yeah.
And I don't want no loans and no.
If that's at the end of the window as opportunity,
Nah,
because
they
you got your
won't.
big boy
No,
striker,
no,
you
no,
got this,
they
you
won't.
got that.
They even want that.
Not even that.
We did that last
Don't
year with
bother
Sterling.
them. Yeah, but that was
Nah.
desperation. You didn't get nothing.
Yeah, so that's what. If it's the end of the window, it is desperation.
No, but I mean, just an opportunity. Sane's still a good player.
No,
you know?
he's saying
He
if
is,
you
man,
box
but-
I'm
off
saying
the
no.
striker,
I'm saying you get
would
wicked
little
Gyökeres.
addition.
Zubimendi's there. You got Thing. You got
No, I
man
want-
them, and you
I
got
want them like-
boy, chuck him in as well. We mean business.
My dream is something like like a Gyökeres, Rodrigo, things like that.
All right, Gyökeres, Rodrigo, and Sane on a free.
Well, then if
Sane, there's not
where
much
would
difference
Sane be if you
between
got him?
Mate, you need depth. It's not about who's going to play.
it's
You need
depth at
bad
that
man
point.
players
If
at
you're-
your disposal.
If you're
Right,
trying to
but
win
I don't want
one
no
or two
free.
of 4 trophies,
You turn down your nose at Leroy Sane.
No,
on a
I'd
free.
take him, but right now I'm not thinking about them frees
They
and all them things.
need to strike.
It's a striker, man.
Man,
It's
it's
one of-
traumatized.
you want to see some money more
All
than
you wanna hear
anything.
is
I want to see
Gyökeres.
some money spent as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what he
Like
wants to
Clark,
see.
but-
Yeah,
well,
you
I
need to
get
see
vexed
80
though.
M's. Boom, my man's
Yeah, I
here.
want to see money
Yeah.
come out in January. These men
Send
didn't
that
spend
money
one
come.
penny, bro. I want to see money spending. Which brought free.
No, I do hear him.
Nah, man.
It's true. It's true.
He doesn't
LJ,
even care who it's on. He's just like, someone just spend 80 million.
Just spend big P's.
It doesn't matter who it's on.
Then they go, you get 80 and you finally spend it. You spend it on him. They spend it on him, Robbie.
That's in
Him.
January. let them get to that point in January, though.
know,
These
freeze,
judges go mad.
freeze, man. I'm fed up
Big
of
man.
freeze.
Yeah, man,
LJ
laughing.
Brown says,
They
I-
gave Arteta that money.
You know what,
Come
right?
back with this.
80 million, Robbie.
We just did a.
80 million.
You know what the thing is, yeah?
Arteta spent 80 million.
80.
I just did a show, yeah, where I was calling him out.
Oh,
Yard
with the Emery
man.
thing, he's
Yeah.
waiting, innit?
Emery, and he's gone quiet. You see, this is the thing. We see a lot of this in the space, yeah? People go big and bold with something, and at the time, everyone's backing
Gets
and
the
running, and you
views
get the
and-
views.
yeah,
And then when it goes wrong, you don't hear from them again, right? You told me about Unai Emery. That guy bottled the league last week against United. You only needed a draw, yeah?
They did get
They
done
bottled
dirty,
it.
though, by the ref.
but-
Let's have it right.
Well, look at
Bayern Deer never
Emi
had that ball
Martinez,
under
bro.
control.
He's the one.
They were playing dead.
Let's be real. He cost them the game, Emi Martinez.
Yeah. No,
right?
he's a sausage.
They bowled that last game. They've not made the Champions League. They haven't won a trophy, right? They spent a lot of money in January. They bought in loans, this, that, Rashford, this, that. What have they got? Zero. Right? And I've not seen this brother say anything. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Yard man. Right, anyway, let me just try and round up some of these super chats. So LJ Brown says, Robbie, I told KG instead of doing hate-alongs for other teams that he would be better off doing lunch orders for you guys during the weekend roundup. BN says, this Chelsea team are happy with 4 Champions Leagues. I think it means 4th in the Champions League. There's only James and Jaden played in there. You forget this is still young lads that... that's why they celebrate. Sorry, there's no commas and full stop in there.
Punctuation
Celebrate
is
that.
important, guys.
And we're not enjoyed on the Conference League itself, rather feeling winning. Okay, sorry. Apologies, because maybe he's another language, so maybe that's why the punctuation are up. But I tried to do my best with it. Ricky Proctor says, Rob, congrats to Chelsea and Spurs and Liverpool for winning. XXX,
And
but
Palace.
then spends 10 minutes
Newcastle.
deriding those competitions. How exactly are we going to get you? Bun them flowers, brethren. You know what I mean? It's on bad mind, put it now. Right.
At least he's honest.
That's the real
Get
thing.
that for real.
And that's what they want to see.
that blood.
They just want to see that.
Robbie,
Say that.
Don't
what
pretend.
do you think
go
about
for it.
Thierry
Why not?
Henry's interview on Overlap? Brilliant interview, actually.
He said, bun on Reem, I'm going to care about that
No,
one.
we love Henry, man. You can say what you
Never
want.
my legend. That.
Ali says, in order to justify the new format, UEFA would want Inter to win it over PSG. Inter finished 4th, PSG 15th in the... I think they just want a good
To think
final.
we finished first.
Rishash says, excited to see the gang in Singapore. If you all come in, we go again. I will be there. Jono says, United, thank you for another year of laughs and fan meltdowns.
Thank you very
Flex,
much.
freedom fighter, might go back, but as a winner. Safi says, Thierry said 5 years, not a single cup, not even a final.
The building is tall.
That was funny.
Empire State.
Antisexuals ruining my club. Your club? Only your club? Samson says Arsenal have played in 4 Champions Leagues competitions but won none. We've never played in the Conference League, mate. Get your facts right. Can't read that bit. Arsenal can't win in Europe, even if it's the 4th tier competition. Never been in it, so we don't know. DJ Ricky 113 says Spurs get Sane, Cardiso, Bowen, Jonathan David, and Eze. 200 mil spending. Sell Richarlison, Solomon. Good window.
Nah, they ain't buying all that.
That would be.
There's no way.
You know. Robbie, have you paid Abby and X their £1,000. You owe them. No, not yet. I'm still waiting for some money that I'm owed to be collected. Then we'll try and distribute what's left. Mebo says, no, I'm owed about £2,000. No, Robbie is a wind-up merchant. He uses a bottle on Villa. When it was Arsenal bottling it back, he refused. Listen, Villa bottled it. They should have made. They got the worst Man United team in Premier League history in your last game, and you lose comprehensively. That's bottling.
Yeah, no,
now come on.
Yeah, they're supposed to win that game easy.
Robbie, can you say Arteta bottled the FA Cup against United? No.
Come on.
Lost on penalties, loads of injuries. Is what it is. You can lose an FA Cup game, but that Villa, they bottled that game. It's as simple as that. Robbie, what phase is Maresca in? Oh, this is it. What phase is he in?
Phase 1, mate.
They're saying it because
Phase 1?
Phase 1, mate. Yeah.
Phase 1 to win to win a Conference League.
It's a cup.
Well, Arteta won FA Cup in Phase 1.
FA Cup's harder to win than...
No, that's what I'm saying. So you can say that.
So,
back.
yeah.
Is the FA Cup harder to win than the Conference League?
Yeah.
Of course it is, man.
Yeah. Well, it depends on your run, but you probably
Jura
have to play.
Gardens.
You have to play a Liverpool or a Chelsea.
They have
to beat Chelsea and Man
Could you
City.
play
No?
your B team all the way and win a FA
Nah,
Cup?
you can't. You can't.
Oh, we tried
Look how
Yeah.
actually,
made 2 changes against Plymouth and got dash out.
Six.
Look at the teams Palace had to win to win that this season.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was just devil's advocate. I was doing my thing, throwing the question back.
Even this season, the way in which Newcastle, they went the hard way to win the Carabao, innit? Because they had to beat us.
Chelsea,
they beat you, they beat Chelsea.
Yeah, no,
Not
you're right.
teams of that standing in.
So I just had to ask the question.
Betis in the final with Hector Bellerin. Was he playing?
No, he wasn't even in the squad.
Injured, wasn't
Right. And DJ Ricky 13 says, so Robbie, Arsenal didn't bottle
The Ricky's got it in for you today, boy.
the Champions League. Yeah, well, it's not the... we didn't bottle the Champions League. We'd come up against PSG or in the final. How would Chelsea have gone against PSG? Or Jura Gardens? How would Jura Gardens have got on against PSG? So, Robbie, Arsenal didn't bottle versus Conte Spurs. No? What are you on about? And Tim Sim says, has it already been said that Chelsea, along with Tottenham, had a better season than Arsenal? If so, here I am saying it. Well done to them.
Good point.
I hope
Well
that they
done.
go and do it again next season. But actually,
I hope you win something next
actually,
season,
they
though.
can't do that next season because they're not in those
Not in it, mate.
competitions. Why did they not just stay in those competitions
They're in
and
the
have another great
competition that
season?
you're in, so you now must win that one to show them who's boss. No?
What if they don't win it? If they bottled it? If Chelsea don't win it, have they bottled
Right,
it?
we've got to wrap. Because we'll be here forever.
I know, because it does sound a bit ridiculous when he says it like that.
You
And
just got to win
did you-
something, let alone anything. You just got to win
Well
something
done for the
next
league, but then you
Thank you.
bottled the Champions League because you did just say
Got
a
the
minute
league,
ago
though.
that you were first in the
I know,
league.
but we still won the league.
No, but we're not talking about the league right now.
but
We're
you-
talking about the Champions League. You bottled it!
Thanks.
Anyway,
Other
we've
words,
reached the
other
end of
words,
the show today.
other
Let's
words.
hope
Come on,
that no team bottles the Champions League this week, right? Because it is the final. It's Inter Milan versus PSG. It's going to be a great final. Looking forward to that, right? So make sure you check that out. We're going to be doing a watch along for it here. We haven't got the full details of it
Croissants
yet.
versus cannoli. In this one.
Croissants versus cannoli. Cannelloni, innit?
Don't forget the cannoli. Remember in The Godfather?
Godfather, yeah.
Oh, what's cannoli?
It's like a dessert thing, isn't it?
Okay.
Little
Italian.
pastry.
Cannoli.
little thing.
Would have been better off saying spaghetti. Right.
Yeah, 'cause I was trying to.
Yeah. Okay, so.
You're not presenting today's show. Quiet your mouth.
Hey,
Anyway, reached the end of the show. Big up to AGT, as usual. Big up to you, Flex.
Big up.
And we will see you again on Monday. Who is going to win the Champions? Hold on. Did I get the...
Yeah,
what
got
did you say
predictions.
score?
3-2 Inter.
I said
I didn't do
3-2
mine up.
PSG.
I got 2-1 PSG. Right?
late.
But we'll find out this week. And also, predictions, Jamaica versus Nigeria.
Yo, we are going to mash up them wider. Yo, let me tell you. Yo. Jamaica 3-1.
Oh, I mean, look. It's going to be tight, but I'll go to Reggae Boys to snatch it. I'll go 2-1. But I'm definitely... What time's that on? Saturday?
Yeah.
What time?
5 o'clock kickoff.
I'm definitely watching that game.
I've got no faith in it, actually.
I know, boy. Just big it up, man.
Nigeria.
Just
Come on,
big it up,
Reggae
man.
Boys.
Yo, we're
Yo.
dark when we're chesting up.
Vibes cartel.
Is
to
it?
the
Words.
word.
Imagine if
Word
Nigeria
loss.
wins, then Ty can come in and say
Oh my
all this. So you need
Never
Jamaica.
gonna hear the end of it
brother.
from Ty, you know.
It's
You
dance
need
all
Jamaica.
over Afro beats.
Listen, it's been bad enough Chelsea fans. Now, and we've had Tottenham
Ty
fans
can
on my
start
case.
on you now.
And then to have Thai on my case as well.
there you
This
go.
could be a long summer. Jamaica, come on,
to the
man.
world.
2-1 Jamaica.
Remember say how we tell you. Watch
Come
out.
on, Jamaica.
Because we are come
How
feel.
much Jamaica?
Yeah. Yo, Nigeria. You better watch out. Because we are come feel.
Dancehall. Over
Dancehall, let me everything. Dancehall, let me everything. That's a big Vibes Cartel tune. Willie Bounce, Willie Bounce. Hey, listen.
Dancehall over Afrobeats.
Yo, tell a Sarkar and them boy the whiskey for move. Ma for go. I keep a time we are dealing with.
Oh, you mean?
About to kill her we are dealing
Massacre.
with. Massacre we are dealing with. Yo,
We now mix and mingle.
tell them AGT. Yo.
Crack them like Pringle. You know what I mean? All right. We're gone. See you later.
It's Team Robbie versus Team X.
You go head to head in 3 football-related challenges right here on DR Sports.
And whoever comes out on top, you're getting flown to Turkey with one of us
We've teamed up with Aunt Lara Dental Clinic
to get your teeth done.
out in Antalya, Turkey.
I'm talking flight, the hotel, the full procedure.
The competition is open to UK residents only.
And Lara is throwing in a 10% discount for everyone who applies.
Do not want to miss this.
Let the jewels begin.